Building there, that big steel structure, that right there is Port Authority, which is the main hub bus station in the entire city. There've got to be tens of thousands of people in and out of there every day, probably even maybe more. If you ever get a chance and you're poking around on the computer, look up Port Authority and just check out how many people are in and out of there a day. It'll probably fucking blow your mind. And when you're done with that, you can come on over here and buy some business socks sale items for shoes. So $20 for shoes. Check that shit out. Oh yeah, Mac Daddy's down tonight. Business sock sale. You got it. Which is a brand new building. I am sure that's hundreds of millions and millions of dollars. And that's directly across the street from that beautiful building I just showed you a moment ago, Port Authority. Yes, contrasting architecture. That's what New York City is all about. Alright, this is 42nd Street. A glance down 42nd towards Times Square from 8th Avenue. And it's really, New York City, Times Square has really become more like Las Vegas or Disneyland than New York City of old. It's not anything like Vegas because Vegas is so absolutely spread out and absolutely enormous. In New York City, Manhattan is a small island and everything is concentrated in a small little tight area. By the way, if you look right there, that would have been maybe more Times Square-ish of maybe 15 years ago, with dirty little peep shows that you'd put a coin in and a window would open and you'd see about, oh God, 12 really nasty ghetto kind of girls with C-section scars and woo, bad stuff. And 42nd Street was pretty scary, right where I'm at, to walk down. Today though, it has been completely revitalized and is emerging as a major source of tourism for New York City. So in the end, things have to change, things have to move forward. Some people don't like it, but such is life, man. Evolve. Pretty soon. New York City, you rarely come to Times Square. It's not where New Yorkers go. This is where everyone from out of town goes. So, I mean, there have been times, if I've been in New York for 14 years, there have been times that maybe I didn't come through Times Square for maybe almost a year. Just because there's too many people, they're all tourists. But it is fun sometimes. All the lights and excitement. It's all good. Of 7th Avenue and 42nd Street. As you can see behind me, all the lights, the glamour and the glitz, which is Times Square. And what's kind of cool is at night from my neighborhood on 20th Street, when you look up, you can see all the lights in the sky of Times Square. It lights the whole sky. It's crazy the amount of electricity we burn. I don't think that's too green for our Earth. You know, to counter what I just said about New York City burning so much electricity, an interesting thing is happening in the city, and that's what the mayor is doing, is introducing all of these new park areas, which are actually reducing traffic in the city because there are less places to drive. And right down Times Square, and what you see all in there used to be a street where cars would be driving. And all across the city there are bike lanes being installed, lane dividers, and on a whole it's actually discouraging people to drive in the city because there's just way too much traffic because there's less places to drive. But that's a good thing because less cars in a city that's so small, more people walking, actually makes sense environmentally. And tourist-wise as well, for people to get around with less injury or chance of it. Anyway, enough of me babbling. Alright. Do I really need to explain what comes down on that big pole on New Year's Eve? No.